How $10,000 buys you a different kind of time. Most people think $10,000 is a down payment on a car or a nice vacation. They see it as a pile of cash meant to be traded for an object or an experience. But if you look at that number through a different lens, you realize that $10,000 is actually the exact price of an exit. It is the cost of your first 100 days of absolute silence. Most of us are living in a financial gravity well where every dollar we earn is already spoken for by a landlord, a bank, or a utility company. We are orbiting a life we do not entirely control because we lack the escape velocity to break free from the month-to-month cycle. When you have $10,000 sitting in a plain bank account, you are not just looking at money. You are looking at a physical barrier between you and the whims of a manager you do not like or a job that drains your soul. It is the first time in your adult life that you are not running away from poverty, but rather running toward a version of yourself that can afford to say no. The reason most people never reach this point is not necessarily a lack of income. It is a leak in their cognitive bandwidth. I call this the scarcity tax. Every day, the average professional is forced to make 1,000 micro decisions based on lack. Can I afford this lunch? Should I fix the car now or wait until next month? This constant mental tax creates a scarcity mindset that actually lowers your effective IQ. When you are worried about the next bill, you lose the ability to think long term. You are operating with a damaged processor. You are trapped in a crab bucket with the immediate needs of today. Pull down the grander plans of tomorrow. Society tells you that your value is tied to what you consume. So the moment you get a raise, you upgrade your lifestyle. Your car gets newer, your apartment gets bigger, and your cognitive bandwidth remains entirely occupied by the stress of maintaining those things. You stay in the bucket because you have traded your freedom for the appearance of success. To understand how to break this, we have to look at the physics of escape velocity. In physics, escape velocity is the minimum speed needed for a free object to escape from the gravitational influence of a massive body. In your financial life, that massive body is the cost of living. If your income and your expenses are moving at the same speed, you will never leave the ground. You are essentially a plane taxiing on a runway forever, burning fuel but never actually taking flight. $10,000 represents your first successful engine test. It is the moment you prove that you can retain more than you release. This is not about compound interest yet. It is about building a compound interest engine. Before the money can work for you, you have to work for the money in a way that creates a surplus. That surplus is your fuel. Without it, you are just a spectator in the economy, watching others build wealth while you focus on survival. Consider two individuals, Alex and Sarah. Both earn $60,000 a year in a major American city. Alex views his income as a tool for comfort. He lives in a nice one-bedroom apartment, eats out 4 nights a week, and drives a car with a $500 monthly payment. At the end of every month, he has maybe $200 left over. He feels successful because his life looks good on the outside. Sarah, on the other hand, decides to live in a smaller studio apartment. She cooks most of her meals and drives an older vehicle that is fully paid off. She saves $1,200 a month. After 8 months, Sarah has $10,000 in the bank. Alex has a high quality of life, but he has zero maneuverability. If his company announces layoffs, he is in a state of immediate crisis. If Sarah's company does the same, she does not panic. She has bought herself nearly half a year of breathing room. The practical difference in their financial outcomes is not just the bank balance. It is the fact that Sarah can negotiate from a position of strength. She can take a risk on a new business idea or wait for a better job offer, while Alex is forced to take the first thing that comes his way just to keep the lights on. Once you cross that $10,000 threshold, you will hit what is known as the great filter. This is the moment where the traps of success start to appear. Suddenly, your old phone feels too slow. Your friends are going on trips you can now technically afford. The social pressure to prove that you have made it becomes an almost physical weight. This is where most people fail. They reach the first level of security and immediately liquidate it for status. They pass the filter of poverty only to be caught in the filter of consumerism. You must realize that the moment you look like you have money is usually the moment you stop growing it. True wealth is the things you do not see. It is the car not bought, the watch not worn, and the luxury not tasted. If you can survive this phase without increasing your burn rate, you move into a different class of person. You become someone who owns their time rather than someone who rents it out to the highest bidder. The blueprint for staying on this path requires building a refusal power. This is the ability to walk away from anything that does not align with your long-term vision. It starts with your bulletproof vest, which is that initial $10,000 fund. This money is not for investing. It is not for a house flip. It is for your peace of mind. It sits there to ensure that no matter what happens in the economy or the job market, you are protected. Once that vest is on, you can begin to make logical, calculated moves. Step 1 is to audit your cognitive bandwidth. Look at where your mental energy is going. If it is being wasted on small financial financial stresses. Automate those parts of your life. Step 2 is to establish a hard ceiling on your cost of living. Even as your income grows, your expenses must remain flat. This creates a widening gap that serves as your wealth accelerator. Step 3 is to redefine what a win looks like. A win is not a purchase. A win is a month where you did not have to think about money because your systems worked perfectly. This journey is not about deprivation. It is about a fundamental shift in what you value. Most people value the temporary dopamine hit of a new purchase. You are choosing to value the permanent serenity of autonomy. When you have $10,000, the world looks different. The news is less scary. Your boss is less intimidating. The future is an opportunity rather than a threat. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are an architect of your own reality. But this requires a level of discipline that 99% of people are unwilling to maintain. They want the freedom without the sacrifice. They want the end result without the boring, repetitive work of saving and saying no to the crowd. The truth is that $10,000 will not make you rich, but it will make you dangerous. It makes you dangerous to the systems that rely on your desperation. It makes you dangerous to the companies that want you in debt. When you are not desperate, you cannot be exploited. You become a free agent in a world of people who are tied to their desks by 1,000 golden threads. This is the beginning of your financial freedom, but it is also a psychological transformation. You are moving from a reactive state to a proactive state. You are deciding that your time is worth more than the trinkets the world is trying to sell you. As you sit here today, I want you to look at your current trajectory. Are you moving toward escape velocity, or are you just circling the drain of a lifestyle you can barely afford? The path to wealth is paved with the things we choose not to buy. It is built in the quiet moments where we decide that our future self deserves more than our current self's fleeting desires. This is a contract you make with the person you want to become. It is a promise that you will not let your potential be traded for a mediocre life of quiet desperation. I am challenging you right now to stop being a passenger. If you are serious about changing your financial DNA, you have to be willing to do what the majority will not. You have to be willing to be the person who brings their lunch, drives the old car, and stays home while others are out spending money they have not earned. It is not glamorous. It will not get you likes on social media, but it will give you something far more valuable, a life that belongs entirely to you. Commit to this right now. Do not just watch this and move on to the next video. Go into the comments and state exactly what you are going to sacrifice over the next 6 months to hit your first $10,000 milestone. Maybe it is the daily coffee, the weekend drinks, or the upgraded tech. Name it, own it. By writing it down, you are making a public commitment to your future self. You are signing a contract that says your time is no longer for sale at a discount. The clock is ticking, and every day you spend in the gravity well is a day you are not truly free. It is time to build your engine. It is time to reach escape velocity. It is time to buy back your life $1,000 at a time.